Good morning, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture some of my trades as they play out live. Real quick, for those of you that are maybe new to these videos, when I say live, what I mean is that this is not a situation where I've already recorded everything and now I'm coming back and doing some voiceover or trade recap. Nothing like that. I'm recording myself live, seeing the information for the very first time. So if you want raw thoughts, raw emotions, raw reactions, you will get that here. But to honor your time and be respectful of your time, if you are looking for a nicely edited video, nicely scripted video, you're not going to get that here. But if you just want kind of a nitty-gritty look into what it's like to be a day trader, how day trading can play out, then you're going to get that here. Market opens up here in 2 minutes, so I'll go ahead and pause, and I'll see you back at the opening bell. All right, I'm liking 51.50 here. Give a little context here. Just made the alert in the private community that I offer. If you're not familiar with claytrader.com, I do offer that community. So TDC 51.50 upside break point. So you can see I made the alert before I'm even in. So this is not a situation where I get in and then alert everybody else. Nope. Everybody will have the same opportunity as me. They can play it differently if they want. Maybe some people are moving in already because I think it's going to break up through there. Maybe some people are shorting because I think this thing might break down. So it's not a group of sheep, but I just throw out the number that I had in mind, and people can do with it what they please. But like I said, I want to wait for more of confirmation to have it get back up there. But yeah, maybe it's getting ready to break down through the $50 mark. So I'll keep a close eye on that. We'll see if it can recover back up there or not. And I will, well, it's making somewhat of a recovery. Almost wonder if I should get in at the break of 51 with an anticipated move up to 51.50. I think I'll do that, 51.15. In there at 51.15, like I said, with the anticipated break. So got the break. Now, well, hopefully it's not going to just reverse right around on me. Well, now it is reversing around. I'm glad I lightened up the load. Still have 300 shares. Oh, wow, now can't even get out. Goodness. Well, $400 loss. Bummer. It did make a spike, but yeah, I was looking, it did get up through 51.50, but I was looking for it to make more of a push than that. Well, at least I did lighten up the load and get 200 shares off up at 51.13, because that loss would have been a lot worse. Well, not like a worse in terms of blowing up my account, but it would have been worse had I still had those 200 shares. And maybe it'll return back upwards, but that was a nasty move up, and then all of a sudden it came back down on me. I just couldn't risk that having to be the start of something much bigger to the downside. But now look at it go right back up. What a dirty dog. All right, well, now starting off down 414, but only 8 minutes in the day. Let's see what else I can find. I guess that's what I get for going long, though, huh? For those of you that watch videos, I do tend to short more. And I don't know, maybe that's why, because I'm not very good at going long. But that looked like a good setup to me, and it worked out temporarily. Problem is just zero follow-through on it. Now I'm wondering about $50, though. Should I try getting short here at 50? Or is this thing just going to start to chop back and forth, and then I'm going to be watching this thing head back up to where it was? Let's go see what FUTU is doing. Interesting at 132. Oh, this one's pretty overextended to the downside. So that one's got me a little sketchy on that one. All right, I will go ahead and, yeah. I mean, I like it, but I feel like it's a little too stretched right now, so I need to let this thing consolidate. Oh, and not even 1 million shares traded yet. So that thing's actually got relatively low volume for the market to have been open almost 15 minutes, and that thing still hasn't even hit 1 million shares. That's a little sketchy. Well, there goes TDC back up again. I'm going to watch 50.35 here, and let's see if this thing fails. I'm not interested in going long, but if this thing wants to come back down to 50.35 now after this move, I would be interested in getting short. But who knows? Maybe this thing will finally break out and it'll leave me in its dust. But like I said, I already tried playing it once. Didn't work out. And then, Clay, if you would have just held, you'd have been okay. Yeah, I know. But that's good old hindsight. Had it continue to drop and drop and drop, you'd be saying, and I would be saying, hey, why don't you sell? Why don't you cut the loss? So hindsight truly is a cruel thing. I don't know. 51.50 still looks fine. Yeah. I can't let that one trade scare me. So let's watch 51.50. Or do I want to try to anticipate it? So in at 51.18. Let's see if we can actually get the break of 51.50 here finally. I mean, I love this setup. Really do. So let's see what it wants to do. Pulling back here a little bit. What is that, 51? Yeah, if it comes back up to 51.50, I'm actually thinking of adding, because that would imply yet another nice candle here. Yeah, let's see what it wants to do. Five minute looks great. Bring over the 5 minute. I mean, that looks fantastic. But can we actually finally get the push upwards? Once again, this 51.10 area. Driving me crazy here. It's almost like a 51.15. And more so 25, I guess. Just one big waiting game right now. Again, I'm not convinced of anything unless 51.25 can be broken. Come on, get moving. Wow. I hate going long. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just break out. There we go. That was a fast move. Come on, just make a bigger move here. There we go. Took out 200 shares there. See if we can get a move up over 52. Again, I should say, because it's already done it once. All right. I don't know if this thing wants to go or not. I feel like it should have really been moving at that point. So I still have 50 shares left if this break wants to actually get going. But as of right now, it sure is just kind of tiptoeing around. But yeah, let's see if it does want to actually make a move up through 52 or not. I don't like that candle forming. All right, now I can't even get out. There we go. All right, well, maybe it'll return right back upwards, but I did not. That candle right there and that formed, nah, I'm not willing to hold my rest of the shares in there. So I'm glad. I should have added. I honestly forgot about that just because I was getting a little frustrated at the fact that it just didn't seem to want to just break out and get going. But when it did break, it snapped up there relatively quickly. So let's see. A long trade. I hate going long. See, Clay, why don't you go long? That's why. Because going long is so annoying. So annoying. Now I'm being a little facetious here, but FUTE. 131, 25, 130. Yeah, that's not a bad setup. I don't know, but this one, that's the volume one. We're over 1 million shares now. Oh, the internal struggle. Yep, watching over TDC on another monitor. Things just still kind of just tiptoeing around. Because, and let me give you a little bit more context on why I was kind of thinking why I was, because this one in the pre-market was moving great. That surge right there showed that this thing can move and move very quickly. So I was thinking when it broke out of that pattern, which was a beautiful pattern, that not necessarily it was going to shoot up $3, but I mean, not behave like it did. Not throw out one of these candles in my face where it made them move up and then came back down, and it's like, okay, are you going to make the move or not? So that's why. And even now, like I said, it's just kind of chopping around up around that area. FUTU, hindsight, totally should have shorted that as it's now rolled back over. But again, I'm pretty sketchy volume. Where am I even at? All right, so down 166 now. So better than where I was sitting at, down 400. But yeah, still in the red. But let's see what else I can find. I have an order at 132.55 here to try to get short. And 132.55. Actually, let's do this. 132.85. Or am I being stupid by starting off with 500 shares? Especially on a choppy one like this. Yeah. This trade is coming from the fact if I want to try to get back to green, I got to be careful with that, because this is the one I've been talking about. Volume's a little bit choppy, and I mean volume's a little better, but it's still super choppy. So, yeah, being real with myself, being just self-aware. Yeah, that's me just trying to force a trade for the sake of getting back. All right, FSLR, how's this one? Nice, nice, 89. I do like this. 89, 85. I'm gonna get this alerted here. FSLR volume 1 minute. All right, I will go ahead and pause for now. Quick one to just share with you why. Just be aware of where, be self-aware, and it's okay if you have your mess ups as long as you're aware of them. Because had I done what I was thinking, it would have been a losing trade because it would have never come down at all because this thing is just a choppy mess. It would have kept going up and up, and it would not have worked out. It would have been now it comes back down. So I don't know. It's easy to say, oh no, I would have held through that. But what I don't know. But the point here being is that like I said, if I'm being honest with myself, the thing would have failed me, and then it would have behaved the exact opposite of what I was thinking it should. But it's behaving that way because it's the volume's a mess. It's just a choppy stock. And I realized that, what am I doing? I'm thinking about getting myself into a choppy stock. Don't do that. So, technically that was a winning trade, I would argue, because a penny saved is a penny earned. So just remember, it pays to be self-aware. It pays to just be honest with yourself and not do things that you shouldn't be doing. So just kind of wanted to throw that out there and look at this thing. It was red. Now all of a sudden, that green. Now I'm still watching this one because the volume does kick back into a more kind of fluid manner, if you will. Then it could still be interesting. But as of right now, yeah, I totally played it right. All right, watching 739.50 in there, only 50 shares. So I'm not going to make much if it goes in my favor, but on the flip side, if I'm wrong here, it's not going to cost me a whole bunch either. Well, and maybe I am wrong here. We'll see. If it does come down to 739.50, I'm going to add in another 50 shares, especially after that movement right there. And again, I want to see confirmation. Yeah, 739.50. That's a good spot. Or maybe getting stopped out if this thing goes up over 742.50. So let's see what it wants to actually do here. Do I want to wait and see if that's maybe a fake break? No, I'm not going to play games. All right, not looking so good. All right, out there for a $159 loss. So on that note, makes me feel much better because had that been, full share size, that loss would have not been pleasant. But it was looking like it maybe wanted to roll back over. And it didn't. So down, let's see, $325 now. All right, well, definitely a situation where glad I went in with only 50 shares. Whoa, what's going on with GSX here? Get that alerted. All right, I'll go ahead and pause. Well, I apologize. I thought I was recording a trade, and I wasn't, and it was another loss here on Tesla. So as a quick recap, thought this thing was getting ready to roll over. It did start to roll over, was feeling good, and then up it went, and had to stop out there, which now puts me down 475 on the day. Maybe you can hear it in my voice. I am frustrated, but it is what it is. I've been doing just fine, so 475, as frustrating, as annoying as it is to kind of feel like as a trader, you just can't quite do anything right. It happens everybody. But for those of you that have watched my past trade videos, live trade videos, I should say, I mean, you've seen I've been on a nice streak of $500 days. So like I said, this day's not ruining anything in the sense of blowing up my account or wrecking my month or week. I mean, I'm still green on the week, but just annoying. And I have no shame in saying that. But if I do one thing right today, though, if I do one thing is I'm going to recognize that I'm very frustrated right now. I'm very annoyed. So I recognize the voices that are showing up in my head. And the one thing I'm going to do right is not listen to them. I'm going to acknowledge them, which is fine. As traders, emotions will never go away. But the key is, do you recognize them? And when you do recognize them, do you know what to do with them? And in this situation, I do know what to do with the annoying and frustration voice, because they want me to go keep forcing trades. They want me to do some revenge trading, get this money back, but make a cool YouTube video where you go from red to green. But no, I'm not going to listen to that voice. And I mean, I guess right now I'm kind of using you as my my therapeutic, what are those people called? Psychologist, or my shrink? I guess maybe you as a listener, you're my shrink right now. But that's how I'm feeling. And I really do still like this setup right here at 737. But, you know, at the same time, that very well just, I don't know. I'm almost tempted to try it with just 50 shares to either prove my point here, but it is a good setup. Or am I revenge trading? No, that's a good setup. That's a good setup if it wants to break down. That's a problem with Tesla, though. It acts like it does, and then it chops back up and then gets me. 737 down to... I mean, yeah, I'm not going to make a bunch of money on it if I do 50 shares from an educational standpoint, but I'm also not going to lose a lot again if it goes up against me. But I mean, I really do like 737. The other thing is you don't want to get too discouraged where it takes you out of good setups. And 737 is a good setup. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep an eye on it. And in fact, just because I'm so leery on whether or not this is a voice or if it's truly a good setup, I'm going to go down to just 25 shares. So I'm definitely not going to be making a killing if I'm right and it goes in my favor, but I certainly won't be losing a bunch either. So I'll go ahead and pause real quick and we'll see if it wants to come back down. Nope, it's chopping around here. I need to move on with my day. And that's the other thing that's got me annoyed. I'm usually trying to be done, relatively quickly. And not that I've been glued to my computer this whole entire time. I haven't. I've been away. I've been doing other stuff. But yeah, I just need to get away from my computer too. I hate the feeling of being chained to my computer. And even though I haven't been chained to my computer, like I said, I've been out doing other stuff. It's that feeling of being chained to the computer that's also now starting to just add to the frustration and the whatever. But anyways, I realize I sound like a nutcase right now, but hey, welcome to the world of... Look at that. See, and there it goes. The cherry on top. The cherry on top. We just witnessed it. Look at Tesla go. So now the voices are saying, Clay, you should have taken that trade, man. You'd be getting those losses back. What are you doing? Hop in now. And these truly are live. So if you didn't believe that, I mean, I wish I could say I was that clever to actually patch things together and make this irony all come together like it is right now. But nope, this is live. I had no idea that was going to happen. But I got to wrap it up. If you do enjoy these videos, then... a few things, because they are, like I was just talking about, truly live, they're not easy to make. I have to talk to you. I have to think about what I'm going to do for myself. I have to make my own trades. I have to manage them. I have to make alerts in the chat room. I have to think about the alerts I'm going to make in the chat room. So there's a whole lot going on, but they are possible. And I will keep doing them as long as I know that there's interest. So the way for you to communicate to me, hey, Clay, yeah, please keep doing them. I'm interested. I enjoy them. Hit the like button. Leave a basic comment. It could be a thumbs up emoji, but those two things go a long way in communicating to me that it is worth the time and effort to do these videos, since they're not necessarily the easiest things to make. But it is what it is. Thank you for being my shrink. Thank you for letting me just kind of rant to you a little bit here. It feels good to just kind of get it off my chest that, today I don't feel like a very good trader. Today I really didn't do, I did one thing right, kind of. I did a lot right? I managed risk. So again, that's the voices showing up, making me think that I didn't do anything right today. But no, I actually did a whole lot right. I managed position size, which kept losses under control. But ultimately, it just didn't quite work out. And that's the life of the trader sometimes. Trading's not easy. And these are the days that I like to try to play with your mind. So again, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed, hit that like button. Leave a basic comment below, unicorn emoji. Maybe, is there like a hug emoji? Give me a hug, help me feel better. But thank you for hanging out. Everybody take care. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.